Well, folks, Dark Brandon does it again. Quiet, strength, and competence rule the day. You know, we had a tragedy down in Matamoros, Mexico with 4 American citizens that were kidnapped. 2 were murdered. 1 was severely injured. It was just an extreme tragedy. If you don't know what's going on, let me give you a quick recap. 4 American citizens from Myrtle Beach went down to Mexico for the woman involved that was the uninjured party. I won't say uninjured because you don't go through a kidnapping and see your loved ones murdered in front of you and call yourself uninjured. That woman, God bless her, she needs all of our help and support. She really does. I'm sorry, it just gets me. They went down to Mexico so that she could have a tummy tuck. It's very common. It is very common. If you're unaware of what goes on down here at the border, Americans go across all the time for dentistry, for cosmetic surgery, because of our healthcare system. The Republicans will not let us fix our healthcare system, so American citizens do go to Mexico to have medical procedures done. It's very, very common. They were mistaken by the Mexican drug cartels down there for Haitians because they're black. And they saw this van load of people they thought were part of the Haitian drug cartel. And the Mexican cartel, who is at war with the Haitian cartels who were trying to move into their territory down in Tamaulipas, rammed their van, opened fire on them. They killed 2 Americans, 1 Mexican citizen that was innocent Mexican citizen that was just on the scene, severely injured the other American, and took them all hostage. It immediately became clear that they had screwed up. This was not their intended target. And Dark Brandon, President Biden just went to work. He didn't run to a podium. He didn't try to make a spectacle of himself like the last idiot did. Trump is just an idiot. You know, he didn't engage in hyperbole. He went to work. He sent Ken Salazar, our Mexican ambassador, down to Mexico. They put pressure on the Mexican government. The Mexican government put pressure on the drug cartels, and the hostages were immediately released. They were told where to find them. There was no ransom demand or anything like that because, as I've said in previous videos, folks, despite what Republicans try to portray, Mexico is a very peaceful country. It is. The violence that does occur in Mexico, it has a high homicide rate because cartels kill other cartel members. Yes, some innocents get hurt, like we saw in this tragedy, but for the most part, it's the rarest of unicorns. It is always cartel on cartel violence. As far as kidnapping is concerned, Mexico's way down on the list of nations. It is below, you know, the number 1 on the list is Belgium. You know, you've got UK, Canada, Australia, countries like this are all well below, are well above Mexico in the number of kidnappings per 100,000 people. It is a peaceful country for the most part. It really is, despite what the Republicans try to tell you about it. And we'll get to that in a minute. So Dark Brandon went to work, and securing their freedom wasn't enough. There had to be justice for these families. There had to be justice for these families. And the cartels blinked. The pressure coming out of the White House was so extreme, they turned over their own members to the authorities. There will be justice for this. There will be justice for these families. And that's what quiet competence and strength looks like. It's not running your mouth. You know, running your mouth does nothing. Look at what the Republicans did. Look at what the Republicans did. You know, I was saying this lady needs our support. Look what Fox News does here. They're badgering this victim as she's just trying to get home. Watch this video.
As reported earlier in the show, Lawrence Jones attempted to ask one of the kidnapping victims about what happened in Mexico, but when he approached, she refused to answer any questions. We'll keep you posted on all of that.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's not just Fox News. You have Marjorie Trader Green, the elevator flatulator, screaming for war against Mexico. You've got Lindsey Graham, screaming he's going to introduce legislation that's going to take us to war with Mexico. And don't kid yourself. That's exactly what they're talking about. They wanted to move our military to the Mexican border. And as I've told you, Mexico's a peaceful country. They wanted to, one of our best allies, one of our best trade partners, they wanted to move our military to the Mexican border and attack Mexican cartels, citizens of Mexico, in the sovereign state of Mexico. They wanted our military to invade them and bomb these cartels. An act of war. It's an act of war.
But I think you've really got to make it clear to the Mexican people that it is in their vested interest to do the best they can to provide information to honest cops.
But military has to be on the table, Geraldo.
The U.S. military?
Yes.
Compare that with President Biden, who didn't act stupidly, who didn't run his mouth. These Republicans always run their sewer mouths instead of just doing the work. I get it all the time down here. Paul, how can you be one of them liberals? Why are you one of them? Because I believe in getting shit done, not running my mouth. These people, these Republicans are just, they've got to go, folks. They've got to. I said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 times more. The Republican Party is nothing. They used to be an opposition party. They're not an opposition party anymore. They're nothing. They just run their mouths and do nothing for the American people. I am so proud of my president for getting closure and justice for these Americans who were so wronged, their families are just facing an unfathomable tragedy. And instead of making it all about him, he went to work for them. That's leadership, folks. Please hit the subscribe button so that we can get you more information like this. It helps us with the algorithm so that we get to reach more people. Help us out. Hit the subscribe button. All it does is help you find us easier. Thanks, folks. This is Old Texas Paul out.
The best part of waking up? MAGA Tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA Tears mug available now at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.